One of the easiest ways to make a good house feel like a bad decision is to buy it in the wrong South Denver suburb. Not a bad suburb, just the wrong suburb for the way that you want to live. The home can be the right kitchen, enough bedrooms, a great yard, and a neighborhood that looks perfect during a Saturday afternoon visit. Then normal life starts. Work is in the opposite direction. Places you use every week are further away than expected. So, this is not a ranking of the best and worst Denver suburbs. This is just an explanation of why a place like that works extremely well for one person can be completely wrong for someone else. Hi, I'm Alana Bormans with the Bormans Properties, and we help buyers and sellers throughout the Denver metro and surrounding Colorado Front Range communities. So Denver is organized kind of by corridors. The first thing to understand is that Denver's suburbs do not sit in one neat little circle around downtown. They follow different transportation corridors. You have I-25 that connects the northern and southern side of Denver. C-470 wraps around the southwest and southern side. E-470 forms a 47-mile toll road around the eastern edge of Denver and provides access towards Denver International Airport. Those roads create very different versions of close to Denver. Parker, Lone Tree, Highlands Ranch, Littleton, Centennial, and Castle Rock can all appear reasonably close on a regional map, but they do not place you in the same part of Denver. Someone whose week revolves around the Denver Tech Center may view Lone Tree, Centennial, Greenwood Village, and parts of Highlands Ranch very differently from someone who regularly travels toward the airport or Southeast Aurora. Parker's connection to E-470 can be a major advantage for that eastern routine. Castle Rock's position directly along I-25 creates a different north and south pattern. Neither is automatically more convenient. They are convenient for very different destinations. Transit also follows specific corridors. The same applies to public transportation. RTD's rail network reaches specific parts of the region rather than covering every suburb evenly. So the current rail map took effect in June 2026, and the South Corridor includes service extending through the Denver Tech Center area into Lone Tree and Ridgegate. That makes areas near the South Rail Corridor more useful for someone who realistically plans to use it. It means very little to someone whose home and destinations still require long drives on both ends. This is where two suburbs that look relatively close together can create surprisingly different routines. So the wrong type of suburb, location is only the first mismatch. The next is choosing the wrong type of community. So some people picture a suburb with an older downtown, local restaurants, mature trees, and homes built across several decades. Others want a large planned community with recreation, pools, trails, organized events, and more consistent suburban layout. Others would rather live farther from Denver, where the terrain is more noticeable and the town feels physically separate from the metro. Those are three different preferences, and they do not point to the same place. Littleton is often appealing to people who value an older community character and recognizable historic downtown. Highlands Ranch is a larger master planned community with 4 incredible recreation centers, extensive trails, and the backcountry wilderness area. Parker combines a Main Street-centered town identity with a large amount of suburban growth around it. The town describes Main Street as Parker's economic, cultural, and social heart. Castle Rock feels more geographically separate and places heavy emphasis on parks, trails, ridgelines, and open space. The town currently manages more than 100 miles of trails and over 4,000 acres of open space. None of those descriptions as a ranking. They're all different answers to the question of, what do you want your community to feel like? Do you prefer established or a changing community? Another source of regret is choosing the wrong stage of development. An established area usually gives you a clearer picture of what the neighborhood will look like. The trees are larger, the surrounding roads and shopping are already there. The trade-off is that homes may be older, there may be fewer opportunities for brand new construction. Now, a developing community offers those newer homes, new infrastructure, and the feeling that the area is still gaining amenities. But it may also bring construction traffic, empty commercial parcels, changing roads, and years of development nearby. Lone Tree is kind of a good example of a suburb that contains both realities. The established portion includes major retail, employment, healthcare, recreation, and several light rail stations. East of I-25, the Ridgegate and planned city center areas represent a large, long-term expansion with additional residential, commercial, public space, and transit-oriented development. So for one person, the future growth is exciting. For another person, maybe they want the finished version now. And this is where the phrase best Denver suburb becomes almost useless. The real disagreement is usually not about which place is considered better than the other. It is about which version of suburban life someone expects to have. A person who wants a quiet, newer neighborhood may dislike the traffic and activity surrounding a major commercial center. Someone who wants restaurants, transit, and short access to daily services may feel isolated in a quiet neighborhood. So the same feature can be the advantage or the complaint. Even after someone chooses a town, the name can still be misleading. North Parker and South Parker create different access patterns. The Meadows and Crystal Valley provide different versions of Castle Rock. Western Highlands Ranch feels different from the areas closer to I-25, and Centennial stretches across a wide area and is served by several different parks and recreation districts. So the experience varies considerably depending on the section. Now, the town name is just the beginning of the description. The wrong suburb can also make a reasonably priced home part of a more expensive routine. So that cost may show up through frequent toll road use, HOA dues and recreation fees, or it may appear in property taxes from the combination of school, municipal, county, and special district mill levies serving that area. Colorado property tax bills can differ because different addresses fall under different taxing authorities. An older neighborhood may involve more home maintenance. A new neighborhood may involve landscaping, fencing, window coverings, and years of nearby construction. The list price is one number. The community creates the rest of the lifestyle around it. Here's the broadest, honest summary. Lone Tree often makes sense for someone who values I-25 access, the Denver Tech Center, major employment and medical services, retail, and rail connections. Highlands Ranch tends to appeal to someone who wants an established planned community with substantial recreation and trail infrastructure. Littleton often attracts someone who wants more established character, an older downtown, and access to the southwest side of Denver. Centennial can work well for someone who wants a central or southeast position but does not need one single town center identity. Parker tends to fit someone whose life points towards southeast side and who likes having Main Street paired with newer suburban communities. Castle Rock tends to appeal to someone who wants direct I-25 access, visible terrain, open space, and more separation from Denver. Castle Pines can create an even smaller and more residential setting along the South I-25 corridor. Those are all starting descriptions. Every one of those areas do contain exceptions. My honest conclusion, the wrong Denver suburb is usually not the one with the worst reputation, but it is the one selected for just a single feature. You have a beautiful home, or a highly recommended neighborhood, a short visit to downtown, a trail system, a new construction incentive, or the idea that every suburb south of Denver functions the same. But they don't. The strongest choice is a place where the location, community style, stage of development, and daily routine mostly agree with each other. Now, you will still need a compromise somewhere, but the goal is to compromise on something that will not bother you every day. To browse current homes throughout the Denver metro and surrounding Front Range communities, go to thebormans.co and open the Home Search tab. We also have a calculator hub when you are ready to compare payments and ownership costs. And if you ever need help narrowing down communities, contact us through our website or shoot us a message with our contact info below. Comment below which Denver suburb are you currently considering. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.